Today we're going to do a quick review and I'm going to talk about the top 5 things, my favorite things about the E60 M5.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
So everybody, let's talk about the top 5 things that I love about the E60 M5. Now I know I've created videos that are kind of similar to that, but some of those videos were created when I first bought the car. Now that I've had the car for several years, I want to share with you guys some of the things, the highlights, the top 5 things. Some of them may be obvious to you and some of them maybe not so much. I talked already about 5 things that you need to know about the car, some of the things I loved and some of the things I hated about it. But today, now that since I've had the car for a while, and honestly I could tell you as a long-term owner, because now I've had the car for probably 5 years, I want to share with you some of the things, the top 5 things that I find are my favorite items on this car. So number 1 is the engine. I don't know about you guys, but 507 brake horsepower, 383 foot-pounds of torque, and an engine, a lifeblood of this car that could propel it to 205 miles per hour. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sure of too many cars that can exceed 205 miles per hour, even with enough track. There's Lambos and Ferraris that can't touch that. There's Porsches that can't touch that. Well, guess what? This car can touch that, and it can hit over 205 miles per hour if the governor is gone. So that's one thing I really need to emphasize. That is the first thing I love about this car. Yes, there's some problems with it inherently, but with it there's certainly the flip side, the positive to it, and that is the engine. So the second thing I love about this car, and of course, if you've seen other videos, you know guys, you know I'm married, I've got children, and so because I'm a family man, your conventional family guy, there's often times where this car has to suit multiple needs. It has to suit my need because I like performance cars, but it needs to suit the wife's needs, who drives this car occasionally to work, and she prefers an automatic. Although it's a weak automatic transmission at that, it does function in that capacity. And as well, in terms of practicality, how it suits the other need, because I'm a family guy, it also serves the purpose of hauling the children around. Not something that you can honestly claim from many other exotics out there, or supercars, or even high performance sports cars for that matter. Not many can provide seating for basically a total of 5 people in this car legally, and realistically in full comfort. So the third thing I love about this car, again, it comes sort of down to performance, and that's the sound of it. There is no other car aside from maybe a Lamborghini with a Tubi exhaust connected to it, or a Ferrari with the F1 sounding engine. I mean, some of those certainly own the best soundtracks in the biz. But this car here, honestly, aside from some of those high-end supercars, has an exhaust sound second to nothing. Nothing. It doesn't matter what you drive, doesn't matter what you own, doesn't matter what you think you have that may sound better. Guaranteed, this is arguably one of the best, probably the best in the business, this side of an F1 or a V12 engine Ferrari. Now the fourth thing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this is purely subjective, everybody. I believe that this is truly the best looking BMW of all time. If you really look around, there's been a lot of great BMWs, but a lot of BMWs tend to be very conservative by nature. And there are some great looking BMWs, don't get me wrong. I love the look of the new M2. Some of the new M cars like the M2 and the M3s look great to me. I actually enjoy the E92 better yet though, and that is a great looking car. But honestly, the way this car sits, the level that it sits at, the size of the rims are well balanced, the front spoiler's just sharp enough, and the overall car and the proportions are magnificent. You put this car in the sunlight shining down on it, there is nothing, especially in terms of a sedan, that even come close to this for looks. There's really nothing that looks anywhere, in my opinion, better than this E60 M5. And that definitely goes for the new M5. That even more goes for the new 550. This is easily the best looking BMW that I've ever seen, in my opinion. And as a matter of fact, I personally think it looks better than the i8. Just for the record, The i8 is a great car, nice profile, but there's some parts to it, like those rear intake, there's those rear scoops on the back that to me look a little bit awkward. And this car just does not lack proportions, styling, and overall appeal. So the fifth one, and bear with me on this, guys. The fifth thing that I love about this car, and probably the biggest thing in my opinion, out of all the top 5, the best thing about this BMW E60 M5 is the fact that it has the V10. Now, I already spoke of the performance and briefly about the V10 and its performance, but it's more than that. It's the fact that every car manufacturer on the globe, so far with the exception of Lamborghini, and I've got to believe that that may change at one point, and we'll see as time goes on because of Audi's influence, that may change. For now, that is one of the few other car brands that has a very large cylinder count, as well as large displacement, naturally aspirated engine that is producing high output for a normal street vehicle. That day will likely never be seen again. And understand, turbocharging is a great technology and makes cars go really fast. But with turbocharging, you lose some of the essence. You lose the power band, a lot of the sound goes away, and as a result, turbocharging does have its limits. And this truly could be, even though I know some are going to argue that because this car is so unreliable, or that's their belief that it's unreliable, that it's not worth owning. But the reality is this truly is a magnificent piece of automotive history that will likely never be repeated. And it's not bad history. It's not the kind of history that you find with the Ford Pinto. It's not like you find with the Gremlins and the Pacers. It's not like you find with the Fiero, with the 4-cylinder Fiero. Those are bad pieces of history. Or the Trabant built in, East Germany. This is truly a magnificent piece of automotive history that will never ever be repeated because of its size of its engine, because of the sensitivity to the environment and the carbon footprint. This is likely the last true high performance, large displacement engine you will ever find almost anywhere under any brand. And I unfortunately hate to consider the fact that at some point, Chevy with the high displacement V8s, Mercedes and their big displacement V8s with the AMG cars, and Lamborghini, of course, with their V12s and also their V10s and their Huracans, I can't help believe, and I really hope that day doesn't come, but I can't help believe that those brands aren't looking at that as a viable option for the future. So again, to me, this is a piece of true automotive history and a piece of art that happens to go really fast, and I love this car for those 5 reasons. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's the most important thing of all here. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends and throw a comment down there. I'd love to hear what you believe of these cars as well. I know there's a lot of lovers and there's a lot of haters of these cars for various reasons, I understand. But I'd love to hear your take on it. Let me know, everybody. Like to chat with you. Certainly like to see you on the next video. Talk to you soon. See you then. Bye-bye.